Hi, Pisces and Pisces rising. Here is your horoscope for March 2025. I'm astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, buckle up because we are in eclipse season again. And we have two eclipses that are going to be very, very strong. There's going to be one here in your 7th house of relationships, which may end the relationship or change your relationship dynamic in some way. Could be personal or business. So we'll dive into that in a few minutes. But then we have at the end of the month another eclipse that's going to light up the 2nd house of income and value. And it's going to offer you an opportunity to change in some way, maybe your income or your values. But this is a very confusing month. Now, why do I say that? Because Venus is going to go retrograde. There it is already in stationary position on the very first day of March. And then Mercury is going to leave Pisces and go into Aries, and then it's going to go retrograde. So we have two planets that are going to be retrograde, which means going within, going back, reliving the past in our minds, revisiting everything. Okay, so there is this strong push and pull again this month that can be a bit confusing, irritating, and not sure what the hell is happening. And so that's the kind of energy we're dealing with. Now, of course, this time of the year, the sun is going through Pisces and it's joined by many other planets. Saturn, Mercury, the North Node, which is what you're striving for, and your ruler, Neptune. And by the way, Neptune is going to leave Pisces and go into Aries as well at the end of the month for the first time in like 160 years or so. Okay, so this is a very important month for many of you. So if you're a Pisces rising or a Pisces sun sign, this pertains to you. This is a very general overview using sun sign astrology, tropical Western astrology reading. Your birth chart and your alignments and your birthday is going to be completely different, but this will give you an indication or an idea of what's going on. That way you could make a better choice. And this month is absolutely one of those months where you cannot take things personally, Pisces and Pisces rising, because you folks have a tendency to think everything is your fault or it's not going the way you want it, and I feel sorry for myself. Do not do that. You are lowering your vibration and your energy. This is the way the stars and the planets are indicating massive change this month for all signs, by the way. But because you're a Pisces or a Pisces rising, this will affect you even more. So try and find, a place where you're centered within yourself. Maybe spend some time by the water or in water somehow, some way, because you're a water sign and water seems to calm you down or relax you. Okay, so lots of energy this month, but sometimes it's going to be very confusing. And so we start off the month with Venus going retrograde in Aries. All right, so first of all, Venus does not work very well in Aries because Venus wants peace and tranquility and partnership, and Aries is selfish and driven to accomplish. So we're seeing this dynamic slow down here the entire month. As a matter of fact, Venus will stay retrograde all the way till April the 12th. It'll be in this 2nd house for a while, and towards the end of the month, it will backtrack into Pisces. So this has a lot to do with relationships. It has a lot to do with finances. It has a lot to do with your value system, your possessions. All of this is on the table this month, and you may be questioning all of it. Do I need to sell my stocks? Do I need to sell furniture? Do I need to sell this? Do I need to buy this? So you'll be questioning all of it. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion here. Don't make any life-changing decisions this month. The energy is too unstable. And so I would wait at least until the middle of April to make any life-changing decisions, which means a move, which means taking in a roommate, which means selling, a large item that you own, or whatever it is. Okay, but we start off the month with this retrograde. Fortunately, Mars is now going direct, increasing our motivation and drive in a better way. But now Venus is going retrograde. It's just the way the planets work. And so it's about the 2nd house of income and value for many of you that you'll be dealing with most of the month. Now, here is an interesting one. Mercury enters Aries on the 3rd. Now, Mercury in Aries is like putting fuel on the fire because Mercury is very quick-witted, sharp. It likes to do things impulsively, and it's in the 2nd house. So many of you may find yourself very impulsively talking, expressing yourself, buying things you don't need, or selling things you don't need. Anything to do with money and finances or investments are going to be heightened again or highlighted. But I would say be cautious because Venus is retrograde. Venus rules money, and it's in a retrograde backward motion. So pay close attention to what you're doing with your finances or your investments this month. It's going to be very important. Now, this total lunar eclipse in Virgo, this is going to be a big one because it's going to be at 23 degrees of Virgo right here, your opposite sign. It's in the 7th house, which pertains to other people and relationships. So over the course of the next 6 months to a year, people in your life will either start leaving or move away or just, totally disappear in some way or somehow, because this is a total lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses bring a realization, a completion, or an ending in some way. And so since it's the 7th house, maybe a business endeavor has gone, it's run its course. Maybe there's a relationship that really is not working for you. Maybe there's a friendship that doesn't work anymore. These are the themes around this lunar eclipse. It could also be health-related matters in these people. Maybe not doing well and they need to move away to a closer hospital or something like that. It could be a pet also. Because Virgo rules pets as well. So whatever it is, there is absolutely some sort of change in the relationships in your life, somehow, some way. And so we'll have to see how it plays itself out. Again, this is very general, a general overview of what's being activated during this eclipse. And so it's a realization as well. It's about letting go of something that's not working anymore, or someone. So come to that understanding within yourself. Now, Mercury goes retrograde right after this eclipse. So that eclipse is on the 13th and 14th. Right after that, Mercury goes retrograde. So now we have these two retrograde here, very close to each other, and they'll stay close the rest of the month. And this is what causes all the confusion. Mercury going backwards and Venus going backwards in the sign of Aries, which represents the self. So there's self-doubt. There's confusion. Do I go back to the old neighborhood? Do I go back to something I've done before? Do I take the old job that I used to have? These are the themes under these retrogrades. And Mercury will have our minds just, going in 29 different directions trying to figure things out. So my suggestion is don't overthink, because it's going to be a waste of energy. Just do the best you can, adjust accordingly, and everything will be fine. But this is all about reviewing the past. This is all about your value systems from the past. This is all about relationships from the past. They're all resurfacing at this time around this lunar eclipse. And right after that, the 15th, Mercury going retrograde. So pay attention to what you're doing and, move forward. And speaking of moving forward, again, the sun enters Aries this time of the year on the 20th and 21st, marking the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. And the sun in Aries is impulsive. The sun in Aries wants to start something new. It wants a challenge. It wants to begin something and go in a new direction. But the problem is Mercury and Venus are retrograde in the same place. And so we are seeing a lot of push and pull at this point. Like, I'm going to do this, and I'm not sure. And that's the kind of energy we have with this sun going into Aries. One moment we're optimistic, and the next moment we just want to go hide in a corner. That's the kind of confusing energy we have here, either with finances or communication with another person. And that's the theme here, at least for the first, I would say the next couple of weeks. But fortunately, Aries is a fighter. And so whatever comes up, whatever obstacles, you'll be able to overcome them. That's what I see here. Now, Venus goes retrograde back in your sign on the 27th. There it is, and it runs right into your ruler, Neptune. Now, this is, again, more confusion because this is bringing up someone or something from the past, maybe a value system, a self-worth issue, because it's in the first house of identity and self, or you're uncertain about what's happening. And so this is a lot of confusion here. And unfortunately, the energy of Neptune with Venus, it can dissolve things, dissolve belief systems, dissolve partnerships, dissolve relationships, dissolve identity issues. You see, this is very, very confusing energy. So we need to really pay attention to this stuff. And again, do not take it personally because everyone is feeling this energy somehow, some way. But because you're a Pisces or a Pisces rising, you'll be feeling it a little bit more. Okay, so do the best you can. Now, in between all of that, the new moon solar eclipse is going to activate this second house of income and value. Once again, this is the second solar eclipse in Aries in this part of your chart. So there's good news and not so good news. Number one, the good news is that new opportunities are coming your way in the next 6 months or so, because this opens up a doorway for income, new partnerships, new investments, new opportunity to increase your income. Okay, that's the good news. The not so good news is you'll want it now because it's Aries. And that's not the only reason, but I'll explain in a minute. Because Aries energy is impulsive. It's going to jump and leap into things without thinking. And you don't want to do that because Venus and Neptune are very closely aligned, but also because Mercury is going to also backtrack into your sign. Look at this three-way conjunction between these planets in reverse mode, which means I'm not sure what I want. I'm not sure where I'm going. I need to go back to the past. This is a very confusing time. So as much as that solar eclipse activates the second house, which is wonderful, and I'd say take advantage of it in April, the middle of April, because Venus will come out of retrograde and Mercury will come out of retrograde, I believe, on April the 7th. So you could take better advantage of that. But more importantly, there's one other thing that's coming. Your ruler, Neptune, leaves Pisces and enters Aries for a few months for the first time in 165 years. So this is monumental energy that's building in this second house of income and value. So this is going to give you a taste of what's to come. Now, you won't feel this fully until 2026 because Neptune's going to retrograde back in the fall, back into Pisces one last time before it moves out. And so what you have going on here is you're in a very creative mode. Your artistic side is coming out. You're dissolving old belief systems. You're thinking about major change, and that could be moving, and that could be reinventing yourself physically. Building muscle, losing muscle, whatever it is, physically, because it's Aries, the self, and it's your ruler, Neptune. So you're feeling more empowered and driven, for sure. Okay, but again, I would say don't make any life-changing decisions like a major move or taking a job in another country, stuff like that. I'm talking about if you want to reinvent yourself, start with physically reinventing yourself, spiritually reinventing yourself, reminding yourself every single day of who you really are. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, and you'll do the best you can. Okay, so a confusing month, but opportunities are in front of us. So, we just have to be a little patient this month. Okay, so there's the overview for the month of March. If you want to know more, I do an extended horoscope in my Inner Circle community. And here's the slide, and I left the link down below. I also do the weekly astrology overview for the week. I also teach astrology in the community. We do remote viewing. We go over current events. And members get to ask me questions. They send me their charts on the weekend. I do them on Sunday. Every Sunday we have a Zoom call. And if they want some, answers to questions in their charts, I address it for them. So we have a nice community. So consider joining. There's a free 7-day trial, so there's no obligation. Anyway, I left the link down below. Do the best you can, Pisces and Pisces rising. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.